Hello, fellow trumpeters and musicians. My name is Josh Rzepka, and today is Mute Monday. If you're new around here, Mute Monday is a weekly series where I discuss and demonstrate different trumpet mutes. And today I have three very interesting mutes to be sharing with you. The Humes Berg Company we're all familiar with. The stone-lined cup mute is probably the most common cup mute out there. However, the Humes Berg Company has made a lot of different mutes over the years, and I'm going to discuss three of their more obscure ones, two of which are no longer made, and one of them you can still get. So I think that this should be very interesting for all of you. So first up, the oldest mute of the three that we're going to be checking out today. This is the Cup-Wow mute, and check this out. This mute was made in their Chicago factory, which means it was made between 1940 and 1947, I believe. And check out the bottom of it. So this mute, I can best describe it as kind of having a sound in between a cup mute and a harmon mute with the stem in. And I'll play it for you so you'll be able to hear. And this is a very interesting mute, and I really dig the sound of this mute, and it's a bummer that they don't make it anymore. The next mute I'm going to be talking about today is the Buzz-Wow mute, and this is a buzz mute, and they no longer make it. They used to make it back in the Chicago factory, and then they changed the design, and they continued making it for a number of decades. I'm not quite sure when they stopped making it, but I don't believe it was a very popular mute. You're going to hear how it sounds. It's a little out there, and this is what it looks like. This is the later design, Buzz-Wow mute, and check out the bottom. It has these two bolts on it, and right behind the bolts there is a piece of material. It's basically, there's two kazoos on the bottom of this mute, and if you unscrew it, then you can see that is the little membrane there that vibrates, that buzzes. So basically you've got this mute. There's the top. It's like a cup mute, but it is sealed at the top. The original design of the Buzz-Wow actually was a little similar to this in design, where it had the cork going all the way around, and then it had three holes on the bottom with the membrane inside. And so this is an interesting, unique kind of kazoo sounding mute, and you're going to hear it, and I think you'll understand why they stopped making it. There just wasn't a lot of demand for a mute that had this particular sound. The third mute that I'm going to be discussing today is the Mellow-Wah, and this mute you can actually still buy. This is a relatively new mute. I purchased this maybe in the last 6 years, and as you can see, it is a wah mute, and it's got a tube going through it, very similar to a solo tone mute. However, a solo tone mute is going to have, of course, the two pieces, and this has only got that one, and it's not that long, which actually makes it a little easier to do a wah effect, and I'm going to demonstrate that as well. The Cup-Wow mute, you can also do a wah effect with your hand at the end, which makes both of these a little more versatile in the types of sound and effects that you can get out of them. All three of these mutes are kind of effect mutes, and they've got a sound which is not something you're going to play a whole gig on, or maybe even an entire song on. You're going to pull them out and use it to get a particular effect, and that makes these really interesting and unique to own and use. I'm not really aware of too much music that is out there that has these written in the parts. However, I will say the Mellow-Wah mute, I have used this on occasion when a part has called for a solo tone, because I find that this has a lot less back pressure than a solo tone, and it projects a little bit more, and it has a little more core to the sound, so you'll hear that. The Buzz-Wow mute I've never used on a gig before, and the Cup-Wow mute I've only used a couple times, but you'll hear it. It is a great sound. So without any more introduction, I'm going to be playing all three of these mutes so that you can hear them. I'm not going to do the type of demonstration I've been doing in the past videos where I play one, the next, because these are totally different mute types. I'm just going to demonstrate a couple different things on each of these mutes to give you a sense of exactly how they sound. First up is the Cup-Wow mute. So you just heard all three of these mutes, and they are all pretty unique. I think that it's really cool that the Mel-O-Wah and the Cup-Wow mute can both be used as a wah mute, where you can put your hand on the end and get that extra effect. The Buzz Wah mute, I can understand why they stopped making it. It doesn't really play very good. It is very out of tune, and some of the notes don't speak very well, and the buzz isn't really all that consistent. Once you get above around a high G or an A, the buzz starts to cut out, and it kind of is different volumes on different notes. Maybe when it was brand new it was a little bit different, but as it is right now it's pretty unusable. It's kind of just a little special effect sound if you need to kind of have some buzz sound. The Cup-Wow mute, I think this is great. I'm kind of a little confused why they aren't still making it. The Mellow-Wah mute, I think, actually doesn't play as in tune as this one. This one, when I played the chromatic scale, I had to try and bring that C up as high as I could because it was really flat. The upper register in this was very flat. This one a lot more in tune. And you could hear both of them just sounded and responded very nicely down on low Gs and low F sharps. And I think that these are really cool sounds. I think as an option, as opposed to a solo tone, I would use this Mel-O-Wah. I think it plays better than most solo tones that I've heard. and I think that the sound is just a little more resonant and full, and it still has that similar effect to it. So I think that's a reasonable choice. Also, this is just a lot smaller than a solo tone, and it's going to fit in your case a little bit easier. Now, if you're the band leader, if you're in charge, you can make that decision. But if you have to play in an ensemble with other people, obviously you're all going to want to match your mutes, if at all possible. Now, this Cup-Wow mute, if you can find one, this is a great mute. I really love the sound on this, and I think it's really cool how it kind of takes that cup sound and melds it with the sound of maybe the Mel-O-Wah or a solo tone or even a harmon with the stem in. It kind of mixes them both together, and you get this really nice sound that is still open and pretty free-blowing. So that is all that we have for today. I hope that you enjoyed finding out about these 3 different mutes. Coming up next week, well, I haven't quite decided yet. However, there will be a video, so make sure to tune in. All right, I'll see you then.